this might just be as close as I have possibly seen to the perfect watch. Could this be the perfect G-Shock square that you have been dreaming of? I wore this GMW-B5000 for 7 days to find out, and despite a few quirks, it really is an unbelievable watch. So let's dive into the pros, the cons, and discover if this truly is the peak of G-Shock squares for your needs. Plus, stick around to the end to explore a secret menu with obscure data that I have never seen before. So let's get started with the pros. These are the things that I loved about the G-Shock GMW-B5000. Starting with the absolutely badass look and feel and weight of this watch. You just feel like absolute peak masculinity wearing this all steel watch, and it has some absolute heft to it that feels incredible on the wrist. It also has a beautiful clear LCD from a wide variety of viewing angles, which I'd love to show you with the macro lens. We are locked in. Oh yeah, look at that LCD, guys. Just glistening, shining, clear digits. Don't you just love it? And the beautiful surrounding display with the brickwork pattern is just to die for. Couldn't love it anymore. And next up, it is these wonderfully large pushers that make pressing the buttons of this watch a breeze, even when it is equipped on the wrist. As you can see, it's very easy to cycle through modes like so, which is more than can be said for the standard G-Shock squares. And in fact, this B5000 series is going to be my new favorite square just for these big pushers alone. If we take a look at some of the other squares that I've had, here's the most basic version. Although this is a limited edition, this is the gorgeous time distortion. It actually comes from the 5600 series of G-Shocks, your basic G-Shock square. If you want to see the full review for this one, you can check it out just here. But look at the little pushers on this one, guys. Aren't they just tiny when compared to these hefty big boys of the B5000? Really quite astounding, okay? Same thing goes for the 5610U series, okay, which was a fantastic mod video. If you want to check that one out, you can click the video link here, but just look at that magnificent kit. Oh my God. But yeah, same deal, guys. Buttons, standard 5600 size. And lastly, my Mr. G, my proudest mod of all time. And just look at this glorious build. And again, if you want to see the full build video for this one, click the video just up here. But the pushers for this one, while they are a bit narrower, okay, the standard 5600 width, they're actually extended and they're a bit longer, which makes pressing them much easier, okay? So quite happy with that. But overall, guys, these are the kinds of buttons that you want to have, and the B5000 series absolutely nails it, okay? Next up, this watch was nice and easy to set up. I didn't need to manually scroll into the date or time, such as with other G-Shocks, because I was able to connect via Bluetooth to the Casio Watches app. So just boom, and it grabbed the time and date immediately, which was really, really good. And from the app, you're also able to set reminders on specific dates and then upload them to the watch. I used it to keep track of things such as volleyball, so it would come up with a little reminder in the top corner, and then you can just press the button to read what it is, and it actually scrolls across it with text there. I did have a reminder set for volleyball today, but it's already cleared. However, let's see if I press the light. Will it work? Receiving the time there. Oh, hang on. Check it out. So if I press the top left button, you can see the reminder there. Volleyball. Okay, scrolling across. And yeah, at a time where you do use the backlight, if you have a reminder, it's really cool because it will actually show you a red LED at the bottom, which is something you don't see on G-Shocks. You just have one backlight color. This would be a nice white light. I'll try and show you now, actually. Let's get these lights off. Okay, there's our white light. Do we get the reminder? There it is, guys. Look at that. How cool is that? You got the white light, and then boom, flash, flash, flash in red. That is definitely something you just don't see on your other G-Shocks, and it's a really cool feature to have. Next up, guys, it is the automatic time synchronization. And even if you have the app not active, but just chilling in the background of your phone like I do, you will find that this thing will grab the time via Bluetooth and be perfectly accurate each day, denoted by the RCVD symbol, which I don't have today. So I wonder if I press this and it's going to grab the AC time. I wonder if this will work because, as I say, the app is open in the background, but I'm not actually using it. My phone is obviously recording. So it said OK, and now check it out. We can see the little RCVD symbol. Isn't that awesome, guys, to know that you now have perfectly accurate time each day, and you don't have to worry about it sort of drifting over a couple of weeks, and then you've got to worry about it being reset and perfectly accurate. So a massive luxury to have. And speaking of a massive luxury, that leads me to my favorite feature of all time, Tough Solar. Having Tough Solar on your G-Shock is incredible. It means you don't have to worry about the battery life, okay? As you saw in my unboxing video, guys, which if you did miss it, you can watch that one just here. I started the week with the lowest possible power, where it just had enough to sustain itself, and we had to use a torch to power it, okay? She is alive, and I've just been doing other stuff for quite a few hours. Had it kind of sitting here under one of my studio lights and the Borrow It V10. But by today, it did start to get low again, and I did get a warning showing low, so I did have to top it up again a bit with my torch. But remember, it has been a number of weeks since the unboxing video, okay? Though I did obviously wear this for 7 days. Up next is the fact that the B5000 series G-Shock is so popular that there are parts for it to make this a super moddable watch. Now, back in the day where I modded my Mr. G, which is modeled after the B5000 series, you could get parts for the 5000 series to make a Mr. G as well, which if I'd have had one, I would have absolutely done, and it would have been epic. Unfortunately, most of the parts for this are sold out now, but there's still plenty of parts available for the B5000 series, guys, making this super moddable. And by the way, I've actually bought one, and I have it literally right here in my hand. Now, this is a awesome case upgrade with the blue there, and I can't wait to do this one, guys. I'll record that after this video, so do make sure that you are a subscriber so you don't miss that one, okay? And remember, because this one has kind of obscure lugs, so I'll bring it in and show you. Check it out. See how it's got the kind of I don't know, it's a really unique lug design there. So you have to get these kind of obscure lug adapters here, okay, which I'll leave a link for you below if you want to get them, but stay tuned because I will mod these in an upcoming video. But a very moddable watch, and it's definitely a pro for this B5000 series. Other thing that I like about this watch, guys, is that in the countdown timer, okay, let's get in here, you can adjust down to the seconds. Now, my timer of choice is a 5-minute timer, okay, but if we go to set this, all right, a lot of watches, you are limited here. That's it. You have to stop it at minutes. But the B5000 lets you do it down to the second. So you could theoretically start a 1-second timer if you wanted to, okay? But while I'm here, I'm going to set myself a 12-minute timer for tonight's volleyball game. That's going to come in very handy. Next up, guys, we'll have a bit of a look in the dark here, but it is to do with the backlight. And if you tilt your wrist like so, see, the auto backlight comes on, which is very handy. Okay, I'll show you on the macro lens. We go boom, and just like that, it lights it up. And that's something that I really love about this watch because it's very convenient. There's our 3 flashes for the reminder, but just look at that nice glow. It almost has like a beautiful blue tinge to it, doesn't it? All right, really happy with that. By the way, you see that little LT symbol up there, right? That is very easy to adjust. So if you want, you don't have to go into adjusting all the settings to turn the auto light on or off. You can literally just hold down this light button, ready? And then that little LT, boom, it's gone. And now we've turned off the auto light. So a very intuitive way to implement the backlight here by Casio. Another feature that I love about the B5000 series, guys, is that it respects other countries, not just America, okay? So if you'll take a look at the time zone here, it is the 12th of September, and guess what? It clearly says 12/9, which is exactly how we do it here in Australia. And if you're an American, you know, you have the option of changing it back to how you like as well. But I do appreciate the flexibility because on other models, such as my time distortion, look, you can't change it. It has to be in the order 9/12 instead of 12/9. So it's really nice to have that freedom to change it, isn't it? And I also like that you can see the home time during the stopwatch and countdown timer modes, okay? Here's a photo that I have to show you, okay, of how useful that was. And if I go into the stopwatch here, all right, check it out. I can be doing a stopwatch as we're talking. And look, I can still see the time that it is 3:19 p.m. And without even trying, I'm going to nail it on 10 seconds because that's just how I roll. Oh, 10:21. Okay, forget it. But also the countdown timer, same deal. We've got my 12-minute timer there. But look, there it is. We've got our time as well, just chilling there. So you always have all the information you need without having to scroll through menus like with some of the other models, okay? So I'm very happy with that. And then overall, guys, just look at this thing. This watch is literally just so beautiful that I found myself over the week that I was wearing it non-stop, often just taking it off and just admiring it, like just literally simply taking in its beauty. It's just really such a gorgeous G-Shock. So I'm really, really happy with this watch. And guys, honestly, this might just be as close as I have possibly seen to the perfect watch, okay? Now, I do have to admit, it is a bit pricey for what it is, okay? But if this is something that you value, finding the sort of almost perfect G-Shock square, go ahead and grab one on the QR on screen or head to genie.us/GMW-B5000. And you can see how expensive it is for you in your country, okay? But if you don't have that kind of money and you are looking for an almost identical option that's got, you know, almost the same features, I would highly recommend the B5600 series, which does have Bluetooth, okay? Now, obviously, I've modded mine into the Mr. G here, which I showed you earlier, and it is absolutely magnificent. But if you'd like to see my review of what this looked like in its original form, I did do a full review on the B5600 series just here. And I would say that the main difference between these guys is the size of the pushers. But other than that, it's not a massive difference. So you would also be quite happy to save a bit of money with the B5600. I will say though, guys, a lot of the B5600s come with a negative display, which, as we've been through in other videos, is obviously not as legible as a nice positive display. Okay, so I would definitely recommend doing a little bit more finding and sleuthing to find one with a positive display, and you'll thank me later. Okay. Last thing, the last pro for this watch, guys, as I've already mentioned, the hefty quality and weight, but one of the Goat Crew channel members has asked about the weight specifically. So I'm going to show you guys right now. I have my little digital scales right here. So let's bust it out and see how hefty this watch really is. Okay, I'm going to chuck it on. Oh, 155 grams, 0.56, guys. That's crazy. Sorry, I couldn't see the decimal there, but that's 155 grams. So it's a heavy little watch, you know. If you had a few more of it, can you imagine that? You have, you know, like 7 or so watches. That's a kilo. Damn, that's crazy to think. This thing really is quite beefy. But stick around, guys, because we are about to get in to the cons. Bubble is here to remind you to ram that like button if you're enjoying the video, aren't you, Bubble? Yes, and here's a treat for you. Yum, yum, yum. Hope you're enjoying the video so far, guys, and stick around because we are about to get in to the cons. These are the things that I dislike about the B5000 series. Isn't that right, Bubble? Yes. All right, let's get into it. These are the cons. These are the things that I hated about the B5000 series. First up, guys, this thing takes ages to charge, okay? Remember, I got this at 0% battery and it took so long to charge it up, which was a bit of a pain in the ass because I wanted to start recording. But I will say, if you are wearing your watch actively, definitely the residual sunlight and light of wearing the watch consistently will be enough to keep you fully topped up, okay? But if you are rotating this in and out of your collection, just know that it may not stay fully charged at all times, okay? Second point I didn't really like is that it doesn't have DLC coating, okay? So remember, I got this secondhand and we did see that it did have a few scratches there, guys, okay, on the case. All right, and yeah, I was a little bit surprised that a watch at this price point didn't have that DLC. I don't know, for some reason I thought it did. I don't know where I got that idea. Maybe it's because the more expensive ones, like Mr. G, does have the DLC. But anyway, I looked it up and I saw the word DLC in the listing. I think it was on the Casio website, right? But get this, it felt a bit like they copped out because yes, it technically has DLC, but guess where it is? Only on the case back. Are you kidding me? Like, who cares if the case back has DLC? So for those who don't know, it's not downloadable content from a game. DLC stands for diamond-like carbon coating. And what it does is it makes it super scratch resistant. I'm sorry, but the one spot on the watch that couldn't possibly get scratched in everyday wear is the case back. So that's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So I would have really loved to see that on the actual case where it's actually going to prevent scratches. But hey, maybe it's just me. Let me know your thoughts below. Next up, guys, I found that while I had to connect to the Casio Watches app, it forced me to go to location services in settings and set it to always allow. Now, we've talked about this in one of my other videos, and I have to ask, guys, why? Why does Casio assert that it needs to have full location services? If you ask me, it's just an invasion of privacy. It's not needed. Nobody asked for it. I know some of you have left comments saying that, you know, you do use the feature where you press your button to log a location. That's not for me, and I shouldn't be forced to put it on to use the app, okay? I really hate that. I will say, though, after I did set that up so that it could do the receiving and, you know, each day it would get the RCVD in the background, I kind of just sneakily slipped back into my settings and turned it off, and the app still kept working. So that is a little workaround if it is an issue for you, okay? But yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on that one, guys. Do you think it's a step too far? Do you use it? So do let us know below. Next up, guys, it is the phone finder feature. Okay, now I tested it without the app open. Okay, so that's when you close the app in the background. Guess what? Didn't find it. It did not find the phone. You're meant to be able to hold down a button and obviously via Bluetooth, it'll be able to find it. Without the app open, it just tries for ages and then says NG. I suppose it means no good. I don't know. But it only worked when I had the app left open in the background. So basically, you had to plan to lose your phone and then have the app open in the background. So I don't know. I guess if you're going to be doing that for the RCVD, you're going to have it open anyway, but still, it should just work, if you ask me, which is something I believe they've solved on the Casio ABL 100, which we've also done a review on, and I'll leave a link for you just here, okay? But yeah, speaking of the invasion of privacy, guys, my iPhone let me know that when I swapped back into my Casio Watches app, it asked me permission to paste what was on my clipboard for no reason whatsoever. Now, if some of you are iPhone users, you may have seen this pop up before. Like, you'll open an app. Oh, there goes the alarm. For those who haven't heard, that's the volume just there. But, you know, you'll open an app and you'll get this pop up and it will be like, so-and-so app would like to paste what's on your clipboard. And it might be for a legitimate reason, like it needs to paste a link or something. But I had no clue why Casio wanted to know what link was on my clipboard. Again, that just seemed like it didn't have a real feature. And again, I'm willing to be proven wrong on this. If you can think of a legit reason, please do let us know. But it really just didn't sit right with me and felt a bit like they're just farming a bit of data, so to speak. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. And I think I even got a screenshot of it, guys. I'll put it up on screen if I do come across it. But it basically kept asking me when I went back into the app. So stop, Casio, please. And the next thing I didn't like about this watch, guys, is these weird, obscure shaped lugs, okay, that we touched on earlier, which means, as I showed you, you do have to buy... Where'd it go? You do have to buy these obscure lug adapters if you want to do any modding with it to get it to fit. To be honest, I don't know why they wouldn't just stick with the consistently known one where you either just use a regular spring bar, you know, like on the time distortion, okay, it's just one spring bar and lots of lug adapters fit it. It's a consistent thing. So for them to kind of make it proprietary, bit of a letdown, which means you have to invest in a specific part to mod with it. So, you know, not really sure how I feel about that. Yeah, and then the next thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of is the alarm, guys, which I did just show you a few moments ago. That volume, guys, I did find it to be a little bit quieter than I expected. And also, it didn't feel like it lasted for super long. I mean, I guess it's probably consistent with the others, but given the volume was a bit lower, I did actually sleep. I slept through it a number of times, I do have to admit, guys. So no, it does not pass the Sleepy Goat alarm test. If anyone has any ideas why, like, do you reckon maybe it's the metal case or something that's like dampening the sound? I'd love to hear your thoughts, but that's maybe my only theory I can think of at the moment. And the other thing is, guys, that I wasn't the biggest fan of is that the first two bracelet links are completely rigid. Look at this. There's no flexibility there, and it's all because they have to have this obscure lug shape there, which means it's really sort of locked in. So in reality, if your wrist is a little bit smaller, that could be a problem because these things aren't going to move down and hug the wrist very well, are they? So, and it's not something that I haven't seen before, like even on the metal upgrade kits for the Mecha G-Shock, which I touched on earlier, you do sort of have that problem, but it's just something to be mindful of. If you're someone who's got a little bit smaller wrists, it may not hug the wrist as nicely as you would expect it to, okay? And speaking of that first link, guys, here's another little downside. Do you see what I see here? Look at this. This is like a nice full glossy chrome finish. And then this is a brushed finish. It doesn't match, does it? So it's not, look, it's not super noticeable when you're wearing it. It's not like anyone's going to be like, what? That's a massive distinction. But as the person who owns it, you do look at it and go, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. And the very last con, the thing that I dislike about the GMW-B5000 series is to do with the weight and its fit as a result of this. To be more specific, because it is so heavy, if you don't get the fit perfectly right, this thing will jangle on your wrist all over the place because it's got so much momentum behind it, okay? It does make sense if you think about it. Now, fortunately, okay, because the watch has micro adjust, which are those little pins just there, you will almost always be able to avoid this with a variation of removing a bracelet link or adjusting the micro adjust up or down. But I'm telling you, you have to get this absolutely perfect so that you don't have it jangling all over the damn place. But if those issues that I've found with the B5000 are not enough to dissuade you, and you love this watch as much as I do, and you want to get your hands on one, scan the QR just here or head to genie.us/GMW-B5000. And these are available in a few different colorways, guys. It's not just the silver one. There's also black ones with positive and negative displays. So lots of different options for you to check out. Alrighty, guys. Now it's time for the bonus where I show you the secret menus of the GMW-B5000. Now, the first two secret menus are not very eventful, so I'm going to jump straight to the third one, which is really confusing me. You can access this menu by holding the two right buttons and the bottom left button. And I have to admit, it is a little hard to press, so please bear with me while I try and do it. Come on. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're in. So J, now if we press this, look, we can adjust and it's now gone up to U, 60, G, L, B. Like, what the hell? What are all these letters and numbers? I've certainly got no idea. If we press the top left button, look, it's almost like a marker to say yes or no or active or like a binary sort of indicator. And we're turning it on and off. I have no idea what it does. And if you press the top right now, oh, what the hell? GNG, Genghis Khan, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, literally, guys, I'm just absolutely baffled at all of these little happenings right now, okay? Usually with these secret menus, they give you some intel, maybe on the module number or something. Like, what's going on here? We've got the AC, we're back to there. So if anyone has any idea whatsoever of what these menus and toggling the binary there could be, please do let us know in the comments below. A massive thank you to our Goat Crew channel members for supporting the channel, you absolute legends. Here's a link if you'd like to join us. If the modding video is live, I will be leaving a link for it right here. Otherwise, it will be some other great content for you to watch next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.